Hey there, welcome to LeadTV. This is your weekly dose of leadership wisdom to help you become a stronger, more effective leader and get the very, very best results from your team. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about feedback, or more specifically, your responsibility to continually give feedback. Now, let me ask you this. What happens in your business when something isn't done the way you need it done? When you see a staff member do something that is not what they've been trained to do, what do? Do you step in, show again, explain again what you need done and what happened and the difference, okay, the gap, and then why it's important, and then keep a bit of a close eye to make sure that they've got it and they're back on track? Do you step in and correct and guide straight away? Or do you get all angry, huffy puffy, don't say anything to the staff member, just get a bit moody for the rest of the afternoon and go home and whinge like crazy to your poor family or partner about your rotten staff? Okay, are you someone who steps in and corrects, or are you someone who avoids and then gets angry? And guys, we all do that at times. But I want to show you the potential impact on your business and how you, without realizing it, might be contributing to a situation that is driving you crazy. So I think the first thing we need to understand is that as the manager, the buck stops with us, right? Our job is that each of our staff deliver our specific customer service experience to exactly the same standard, to our high standards, every client, every time, okay? That is our job. It happens, okay? We have three main responsibilities: people, processes, and performance. So we need the right people doing the right things to the right standard. That's our job as a manager. So when it doesn't happen, of course, it is absolutely our responsibility to step in and guide it, get it back on track. And if we do that early, it's often just a small correction, nothing that needs to involve drama and tension or even damage the relationship. But when we avoid that conversation, when we don't give the feedback, as well as potentially, damaging the business in terms of whatever that issue was, that loss of income, maybe risking the loss of customers or clients, we also lose the opportunity to build a stronger, more thriving, more value-centered business. But worst of all, I think we rip that staff member off. Okay, now you probably haven't considered it like this, so let me explain. When we don't correct someone that we've trained to do something, if we see it not being done well and we don't correct it, we completely rip them off as their leader from the opportunity to be better, to be successful, to feel good about achieving something, okay? I believe that when we sign on as their leader, when we bring them into our team, we make a commitment to them to help them be the best that they can be. Now, certainly for some along the way, that journey might not go the full distance, but it is for as long as we keep those people on our team, it is our responsibility to guide, to help them be better. We are completely ripping them off if we don't do that. But we get ourselves all twisted in knots by saying things like, oh, I don't want to be mean, I don't want to be bossy. Or maybe, oh, they'll just get moody, they'll just get cranky or upset, or they'll cry, or I'll get no productivity out of them for the rest of the day, right? Or maybe you're saying something like, but shouldn't they? That's just common sense. Shouldn't they know better? I knew that. Why don't they do that? What's wrong with staff these days? Can you hear the problems with that, guys? There's no point, obviously, getting caught up in that, because when we do that, we are abdicating our responsibility as the leader. We're not doing our job, yet we're getting upset that they're not doing their job. Can you see the irony in that? So I think we need to keep in mind that when we see something that isn't right, we've said, this is who we are, this is our standard, and we've trained our staff in that, and then it doesn't happen. In that moment, we make a decision. We either step in and correct and uphold our standards, uphold our values, and reinforce and send the message to our team that this is important, I'm going to check this, right? Or we let it slide. We don't correct it, okay? And what do then? We allow it to happen. If it happens repeatedly, we actually teach them to do it. We endorse it, okay? We get what we accept and we teach what we allow. If we see it and we do not act in that moment, we have taught them to do it, and that's how bad habits form. And if you're continually avoiding those conversations, you're just allowing bad habits to form. You're getting angrier and angrier, and then one day you're going to come in and go boom and lose your cool, and your staff are going to wonder what on earth's going on. They don't understand, right? Because you haven't communicated. So when we talk to staff, you know what they say to us is that what they want from us is clear direction. They want to know what we want. They want to know what we need. They want to know how to win, right? They want to know where the goalposts are, right? Teach me what you need, show me what you want, let me go for it. Because most people want that satisfaction that comes from knowing that they're making a great contribution, right? They are doing a great job. What drives them absolutely crazy is when we are vague. When we get all hung up about being bossy or, not wanting to be picky or fussy or whatever it is, and we don't give them the information that they need, so they're guessing and they're trying to make decisions, they're doing whatever they think is right, and then they get in trouble for it. Or they get into the habit of doing it repeatedly because, oh, great, you haven't said anything, it must be right. And then one day you completely lose your cool. They're like, what is going on? I don't understand. So you can see that you're not doing anyone any favors by not having the conversation. You're not doing you any favors and your stress levels. You're not doing your business any favors, and you're certainly not doing your staff any favors by not having that conversation that you absolutely need to have. Your staff are watching what you do, right? Both the ones that maybe they do it and they keep an eye to see, oh, am I going to get away with that? They'll see if you let it slide, but you know what we often don't consider is that our good staff, right? The staff who always do as we ask to the standard, the ones who always do what we want, they're watching what you do as well. And you know that really inspiring conversation that you had with your team probably when they first started about your vision and your values, and they were so excited to be part of such a fabulous team? Well, right now, you completely sacrificed that vision and those values. You completely let those standards slide. And now they're not feeling so excited about working with you anymore. And what happens, unfortunately, is when our good staff watch us not dealing with problems, not correcting issues, they start to lose motivation, engagement, and respect. And sooner or later, they go. So we lose good people because we didn't correct the bad issues, okay? So what's the moral of the story? I believe that if we have not explained clearly, and firstly know exactly what we want, but then explained it, documented it, whether that's in writing or whether that's with little short videos done on your phone into a private YouTube channel for your staff, okay? If you have not clearly explained exactly what you need and check that they've fully understood by having them demonstrate it back to you or explain it back to you, because you and I will hear the same thing and we might understand it as two different things depending on our past experiences. So you've got to make sure I'm on the same page. So if you haven't explained it, documented, and then check to make sure I've understood, and then continually checked on that to make sure it's happening, whether that's through observation, through your continual coaching routines, that continual feedback back loop that is so essential when you're coaching people. If you're not doing that, we have no right to get angry with our staff, to get frustrated with our staff, because we haven't done our role as the manager, okay? So as the leader, guys, we set the direction and we set the pace. We set the direction with our expectations and our values. This is who we are, this is what's important. We set the pace and the energy level with our continual coaching routine, keeping the energy up, keeping our team focused, okay? So if we are not providing that communication, we're really not doing the right thing by ourselves or by our team. Guys, there's a really clear link in my experience between poor communication and poor results. And I take that one step further. I also see a very clear link between poor communication and tension or conflict in teams, because issues are not resolved. If you've ever come along to my Salon Leader Bootcamp, you'll know all about cleaning the glass and what happens when our glass gets muddy. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. So buck stops with us. If we want the very best results out of our team, we have to know exactly what we want, be able to communicate it clearly, check that they've understood, and then track and measure and monitor constantly to make sure that it gets done, because that is our job and our commitment to the clients that we serve. So guys, that's this week's episode of LeadTV. Now, if this is your year to become a stronger, more confident, more inspiring, more effective leader who gets great results from your team, then watch this space, because very, very soon we're going to open doors just for a short period of time to our group coaching program, Leaders Lab. Now, that's an amazing program to help get your mind exactly where it needs to be to understand, what does it mean to be a great leader? What's required of me? What do my team need from me? What do I need from them? And how do I coach my team for top performance and best results? That's coming up very soon. Keep an eye out for that, and bye for now.